Here we go. Let's check in on the community, shall we? Where is it? When is the next video, you fat retard? We're already balls deep into the season. Hurry up, Hitler. Winter break is over. Hurry up, gay Hitler. You gonna talk about Sushi getting Red Bull seat or what? Hurry up, gay boy. Lewis Ferrari situation is crazy. Now, Lewis disqualified, but Homo Hitler stays silent. When are you going to make a video about China, gay Hitler? Excuse me, gay Hitler video now. So much has already happened. Get out of your bunker, gay Hitler. When did everybody start calling me gay Hitler? That's really offensive. Because I'm not gay. We are barely tip deep in the 2025 season, and we've already had huge moments. Epic battles for the lead, crashes, scandals, fresh memes.
I have the seat full of water, like full of water.
Must be the water.
But before we get to any of those shenanigans, we need to talk about a very important subject. Women in the workplace.
Women in the workplace. Women in the workplace. Women in the workplace. Women in the workplace. Women in the workplace. Women in the workplace. Women in the workplace. Women in the workplace. Women in the workplace. Women in the workplace. Women in the workplace. Women in the workplace.
Back in the good old days, Formula One had grid girls, and not only were they fit with a capital PH, they were also elegant and classy. They weren't some strippers shaking their tits. Okay, there was a little bit of that, but most of the time, these broads had decorum, and they were respected. Here's Lewis Hamilton giving his coat to a grid girl because it was raining. We used to be a civilized society. But then in 2018, some fat puff decided no more. According to Formula One themselves, grid girls do not resonate with our brand values and clearly is at odds with modern day societal norms. Oh yes, the societal norm of a woman exercising freedom of choice to accept a paying job. No more! So all of these women had to go and get real jobs. You see this girl? She's now working the checkout in a Tesco. You know what that's called? Progress. Back in the good old days, they had lines of women applauding the drivers as they walked up to the podium, and some of them occasionally got sprayed with champagne, which is not fun, it's disgusting. Look at how miserable this woman is. And these women, absolutely miserable. And these women, absolutely devastated. And this woman, okay, she does look genuinely terrified. But the point is, this was also clearly at odds with modern day societal norms, so they got rid of them as well. Good. Because now this woman is a bus driver. And the only thing she gets sprayed with is room temperature piss because she hasn't got the change to break a tenner. Progress. But that still wasn't enough, because banning F1 grid girls is a distraction from the wider workplace war, says The Guardian. Of course it was The Guardian. It's so wrong! Because, unfortunately, women face certain disadvantages in the workplace that men do not face. Disadvantages like misogyny, sexual harassment, the gender pay gap, which only exists because of their own personal preferences, pregnancy discrimination, and having the brain of a squirrel. So, clearly, something must be done to level the playing field. Otherwise, we're never going to get a female Formula One driver. So, the brain trust at Formula One came up with an idea, and it's called the F1 Academy, a female-only series that runs alongside the F1 calendar, not to be confused with the W series, which was also a female-only series that also ran alongside the F1 calendar. That went bankrupt before the end of the final season and disappeared off the face of the earth. And sometimes the ladies were a bit distracted.
Sarah Moore loses it first of all. No grip at this stage. And I warn you, this is nasty.
I originally thought that crash was because of some extraordinary circumstances, like oil on the track. No, they really did just fuck it that hard.
Women in the workplace. Women in the workplace. Women in the workplace. Women in the workplace.
And I'm sure there's no misogynistic comments on the YouTube video. Let's take a look, shall we? What a perfect example of how well women perform under pressure. Burn. When women drive and people want to put them in F1 while they can't handle these cars, the fuck you think's going to happen in a 1,000 horsepower, no ABS, no traction control Formula 1 car with the rest of the men who can actually handle the G-force? Burn! Women shouldn't race. Women, coffee cup emoji. Women, coffee cup emoji. Women, am I right? Women, 3 coffee cup emojis. More proof women are not good enough to drive these cars. Women, ha ha ha. They say women who spend a lot of time together become synchronized. These had synchronized oversteer into the... I don't know what that means, synchronized. You mean like synchronized swimming? Okay.
The idea that women's menstrual cycles can synchronize.
These are real comments under the video, by the way. And this is what I was talking about in my presentation. The sort of misogynistic comments women have to deal with. It's disgusting. Disgusting! But unlike the W series, which actually provided a lot of ammunition to the misogynists and then disappeared off the face of the planet, the F1 Academy broads are not going to take the same shit. They uploaded a video to their YouTube channel called The Narrative is Shifting, where they address the misogynistic comments. Let's take a watch, shall we? Click.
You thought that we didn't belong in this world.
I didn't say that.
You dismissed us.
I didn't do that.
Said we didn't deserve this.
I didn't say that.
Well, we did not listen.
Okay, you didn't, but I didn't say that.
Forged ahead.
They're getting really close to the camera.
Better future.
They're really close to the camera, and it's putting me off.
And courage.
And we never gave in.
Come here.
No,
Look
don't.
again.
Okay, it's
And
getting
now,
weird. I don't know what that was supposed to be. But they seem very determined. So the F1 Academy arrived in China for the first race of the 2025 season, ready to shift the narrative. A 13-lap race around the Shanghai International Circuit. And I hope all of these chauvinistic pigs are watching, because you're all about to be proven wrong. Ladies, take it away.
But on a reverse grid, that's Shi Wei, the Chinese girl, who unfortunately has had a bit of an off.
Oh, she's beached.
Oh, and that's tricky because you just can't get going.
So one of them spun on the first lap and got beached on top of a curb. Big deal. And the name of this driver is Shi Wei.
Shi Wei, the Chinese girl.
More like she is pointing the wrong way. Fucking laugh. After she had been moved out of the way, the race restarted, but now we're already on lap 5, which is fine because there's still plenty of time left to showcase some female talent and prove the misogynists wrong. 3 corners. They made it 3 corners before one of them locked up and T-boned another car.
Oh, no. Yeah, that was a shame. So there was contact there.
Okay, so another clam bites the dust. The safety car came back out for a few laps, and when the race restarted for the second time, they had already passed half race distance without having completed a single lap under green flag conditions. For Christ. Ladies, we're not expecting fucking miracles out there, but you gotta give us summer. Can you just keep it together for 5 minutes? 1 corner. They made it, well, they didn't even make it to the first corner before one of them just drove straight into the back of another car.
Gonna have a look down the inside, maybe there might be contact made. No, so...
The woman responsible for this crime is Chloe Chong. Mrs. Chong clam slammed the driver in front of her, leaving her stranded on the outside of turn 1. Damn it, Chong! Now the safety car comes back out, and by the time the race restarted for the 3rd time, there was only 3 laps left in the race. We're running out of time, ladies, and so far you haven't done a lot to shift the narrative. So, let's just take this one step at a time. Lap 11 of 13. They all make it through the first sequence of corners unscathed. Well done. Now they're heading towards the first hairpin. Nobody locks up and gets T-boned. Excellent work. Mrs. Chong has a sniff at turn 7, but this time does not drive directly into the back of her opponent. Progress. Now they're making their way down the back straight. A bit of jostling for position. Is one of them going to go for a move? She's going for a move. Don't do anything stupid. Just a lock-up. It's just a lock-up, dickhead. Nothing serious. Round the final corner, down the main straight, and there we go. One whole lap with no incidents. Take that, you misogynistic pigs. Now they've calmed down a bit, I'm sure they can manage the final 2 laps of the race with no more incident.
Absolutely. Oh, a little bit of a lock-up and a bit of contact as well. Alba Larson just making a touch.
I'm sure they can manage the final lap of the race with no more incident.
Oh, an incident as well. Elba Meyer, and Hausmann involved.
Okay, so of the 13-lap race, they only completed 1 single lap under green flag conditions. That's not great, but that was the first race of the season. What are you expecting? They're all a bit rusty. The second race of the season is the next day on Sunday morning. So as the ladies lined up on the grid for race 2, you can imagine they were even more determined to shift the narrative. And I'm sure they will redeem themselves in the second race.
Oh, they've made contact. What a shame. Oh no, we've got more spins as well. Oh dear, this is all getting a little bit tricky. Nicole Havreda as well, and there's damage.
At this rate, the only way women are going to be respected in motorsport is if Lewis Hamilton comes out as trans. And hey, I'm going to be honest, I'd hit that. I would hit that multiple times. Kinda suits him. Kinda suits her, excuse me. I actually have multiple pictures of trans Lewis because I made the mistake of asking the group chat to generate images of trans Hamilton, and anytime I ask you lot to do anything, you always take it a bit too far, don't you? Some of them were pretty good and very realistic. Some of them were kind of whatever, mid. Some of them were genuinely horrifying. I mean, if you saw this picture while you were tripping on mushrooms, it'd give you a panic attack. This is just a picture of Michelle Obama. Some of you are not taking this seriously at all. I mean, what the fuck is this? And then the same person keeps spamming it multiple times. Who is this person, please? I swear to Christ, this person. Nicholas Laquifi. You are this close to a ban. It really is beautiful and terrifying what you people can achieve when you really put your minds to it. Because I remember when you were editing my face onto AI-generated pictures. Let's pull those up, shall we? We've got rocket-powered Stalin, rocket-powered Castro, rocket-powered Chairman Mao, rocket-powered Lil Kimmy, Thatcher, Dharma, Hamilton, Rosa Parks. Rosa Parks, good lord. Rocket-powered Verstappen, Rocket Gorlock the Destroyer. What's this? Mohammed Ben Syndrome. That's not funny. Okay, we're all going to hell. It gets worse. Of course it gets worse. Rocket-powered Anne Frank. There we go. There's a good one. And just for the sake of being bipartisan, because of course they also did rocket-powered Hitler. So there we go, everybody. We've got both sides of history. You know, when I first saw this picture, I thought, this is wild to have my own community edit my face onto Adolf Hitler. But at least they didn't put it on a t-shirt and then print it out so it becomes like a real tangible thing that exists in reality. Of course they put on a t-shirt! No.